Hey guys, what's up? It's Abby, and today I'm going to be talking about 10 ways that you can reduce your carbon footprint while also saving money at the same time. Last semester I took an environmental biology class, and I just remember my professor really emphasizing on the fact that you can save money and save the environment at the same time, but the trick is just getting people to understand that it will benefit them, because as humans we just want what benefits us the most. And even if we realize that we're saving the planet at the same time, there's kind of a weird stigma of, I don't know, that being impractical for some people or more expensive, when it's most of the case the opposite. So I was looking into different ways that I could personally reduce my carbon footprint and also save money, and here are some of the ones I came up with, and I tried to be a little less generic. A lot of this was just researching and seeing what people had put out there and the ones that I found the most interesting. Number 1, reconfigure your routes, whatever you want to call them. I know that a lot of people say this as far as taking the bus or public transportation or riding your bike, which personally I'm just not a huge biker person, but if you are, that's great. I just don't like wearing my helmet, and I feel like that's definitely a necessity for me if I'm going to ride my bike. But it does never hurt to just do a quick Google search and see if you can sometimes be surprised by the public transportation around you, or hit up a friend and see, even if it's a carpooling for a few miles, meeting somewhere and then carpooling from there will really reduce your footprint and save you money on gas. And then also I think something that's less talked about is just, if you are driving a lot, that you get your tires rotated and you make sure that your car is up to date as far as repairs and such, because that can make you drive more efficiently. And then just be aware of your braking and how you're pressing on the gas, because that can also save energy. Number 2, support local, healthier for you, and more affordable. According to a Forbes article, the average vegetable takes approximately 1,500 miles to get to your plate. That is a huge footprint going from A to Z there. And what I really like about shopping local or going to farmers markets or seeing what different foods you could trade with people around you, especially when other people are starting their gardens, I just love that you can ask them questions about your food, see where they get their things from and how they're sourcing things, and also you can bargain with them sometimes or just work with their prices and buy in bulk, which will save you more money. I do just like even sometimes paying more for the money, because if you think about it, as far as I like to think about it, is like, if I'm buying healthier and more nutritious food, that will save me money in the long term, just health-wise. And I also just like the idea behind supporting families and knowing those families versus supporting big corporations. Number 3, eat less meat or eat as far down on the food chain as you can. Agriculture has a huge environmental impact, whether that is the land or whether that is the animals and the resources it takes to provide for the animals. Personally, I just don't buy meat because it's more expensive and I don't feel like making it. I've been watching Pickup Limes on YouTube. I'll link her down below. She's really cool and has a lot of different healthy recipes. Number 4, meal plan. Oh my goodness, I have been doing this and it's seriously been saving me a lot of time and money. I don't have to think about what I'm going to eat because I prepare ahead of time and I don't end up wasting near as much food. Number 5, bring your own bottles and mugs. People say this a lot, but I think that you can really take it to the extreme as far as bringing one with you everywhere you go, just to make sure that you're never having to buy plastic. And a lot of different stores and coffee shops now are offering discounts if you bring your own mug. Number 6, save on your energy bill. And wow, there are lots of different ways to do this. Thinking back to middle school for me, I remember we actually had someone come in and give us faucet things and teach us about shutting off the water and all of those things, which are still really relevant, but maybe not something I think about as much. But yeah, just shutting off your water, because 2/3 of our fresh water is trapped in polar ice or glaciers or is not accessible to us. Besides that, switching to LEDs or compact fluorescent light bulbs, which have been shown to use up to 85% less energy. Wash your clothes in cold water and wash them less. We really have a tendency to overwash our clothes and line dry. I think something that I found interesting when I went to Spain was almost everyone did that, and while it can be weather dependent, I think that that's something all of us could probably do more. Changing your thermostat even by 1 degree can make a huge difference, and then turning your lights off and also unplugging your power cords, because even if things are fully charged, they're still going to use energy. Number 7, rethink your closet. I'm really passionate into my minimalist and capsule wardrobe, but really just buying less in general. It doesn't even have to apply just to your closet. And then for me, thrifting is such a big thing because you're saving money and buying something secondhand, so you're giving it another life. Number 8, increase your shipping days. I know that we all love, our Amazon Prime 2-day shipping or expedited shipping, but really if you can extend that at all and just remember to buy before 2 days ahead of time or just wait a little bit, that really will reduce your carbon footprint. And I know that Amazon now is offering some type of money back, or it's something like that. I can't quite remember what it is if you do choose the longer shipping. On a side note, Amazon is really great for book rentals. That's where I get a lot of my college textbooks, and they're so much cheaper. Number 9, utilize your library. I used to work at a library, and this just made me so happy when I read this on an article, because I was just thinking, yes, yes, and yes. There are so many resources at your library that you probably don't know they have besides books. I mean, that's one thing too. I personally love having, I know you sometimes just gotta have that hard copy, but there's a lot of times when you really don't, and personally I just like taking notes in my books, and then after I read them I'll write them all down in a Google Doc, and then I pretty much have my own Abigail Spark notes. Besides books, CDs, and DVDs, try going to the library to meet up with a friend or study so you don't have to spend money on coffee. I know the reputation behind libraries is that you have to be all hush and quiet, but that's really not necessarily the case, especially depending on how big or what different types of rooms your library has. And then also something cool that mine does that you might want to check out is that you can check out different events and ticket things. So I know that for us, once a year you can check out different tickets to the zoo or to different museums, or even I think some theater shows, which is pretty cool. And we end with 10, which is to ditch disposable. And this is my huge thing of you're making an investment but knowing that this initial investment will pay off in the long run. This could be with items such as straws, paper towels, feminine hygiene products, razors, you name it, or my stasher bags, which are in replace of plastic bags. There are just so many cool brands out there now with amazing people behind them, with products that are just blowing my mind, that are reusable. So I would just encourage you to think about the products that you do use on an everyday basis and ask yourself, how can I be using a product that is more sustainable or more reusable? That is all I have for you today. 10 different ways to reduce your carbon footprint while also saving money. Something else that my environmental biology, I keep wanting to call him my English professor, not really the same thing, but my environmental biology teacher was talking to us about just keeping a list of the changes that we're making and keeping a list of the investments we make to just see how they are saving us money over time. And I haven't done that, but I would really like to. And I also just want to say I get really excited even just making this video or talking about this topic, because it just reminds me of how much of an impact we all have as individuals and the power that we have in our purchasing and the things that we're doing and the ways that we just have a ripple effect out to the rest of the world. So just a reminder to you today that you can make such a huge difference, even just being one individual and one human being. With that said, I hope you guys have a great day, and if you like this video, please make sure to thumbs up and subscribe, and I will see you later. Bye!